President Tinubu addresses 2025 BRICS, pushes for inclusive development.
Nigeria therefore called on BRICS to lead a new path of justice anchored on fairness, sustainable technology, transfer and accessible financing.
Federal government commends Nigerian army's sacrifices, pledges continued support.
The men and women of the Nigerian Army and Armed Forces globally, I reaffirm the present administration's unwavering commitment to your welfare and operational capacity.
Nigeria Immigration Service launches amnesty program for foreign nationals with expired visas.
Good morning, Nigeria. Today we shall focus on 2025 BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
The 17th BRICS Summit is underway in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and this year it is more than a meeting. It marks a defining turning point in the evolution of the bloc.
Now, with its recent expansion, BRICS is now entering a phase of greater cooperation, one characterized by broader participation, stronger representation, and a louder voice on global issues.
At a time when the world is navigating economic uncertainties, trade barriers, and shifting power centers, BRICS is positioning itself as a viable alternative, pushing for new models of growth and global governance.
This new chapter reflects the growing weight of the global south and the push towards a multipolar world order.
Over 20 countries are attending this year's summit, including full members and strategic partners. Nigeria, led by President Bola Tinubu, is participating as a partner nation, using the platform to advance its economic reform agenda and attract fresh investments.
And also joining the conversation are countries like Mexico, Colombia, and Uruguay, following an invitation from host President Luis Inacio Lula da Silva. The theme for this year is strengthening global South cooperation for more inclusive and sustainable governance.
So why is BRICS expanding now? What does a bigger BRICS mean for global power dynamics? And how might its growing reach affect institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and even the UN?
Well, we'll tackle these questions and more as we dig into the implication of this year's summit, from geopolitics to investment trends and Nigeria's place in it all.
I'm Ademola Adeoye. Thank you for joining us this Monday morning, the first edition for the week. This is Good Morning Nigeria.
And I am Jumai Yusuf. We are live on the network service of the NTA. Chukudi Okologbaja will join us later for newspaper review.
But first, here is Stella Namete with today's news highlights. Good morning, Stella.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ademola. Good morning, Jumai. Here is the morning news. Nigeria is reaffirming its commitment to strategic collaborations that translate to sustainable and inclusive development for all, as the country calls on the BRICS to lead a new path of justice in the world. President Tinubu made the commitment while addressing the 2025 BRICS Summit of Heads of State and Government in Rio de Janeiro.
Nigeria therefore called on BRICS to lead a new path of justice anchored on fairness, sustainable technology, transfer and accessible financing, such that emerging economies can fully benefit from the various initiatives in this field.
As the push for cleaner energy grows stronger, President Bola Tinubu has urged a fair energy transition that will not just jeopardize developing economies. Speaking at the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization in Kankendi, Azerbaijan, the president, represented by the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, stated that given the adverse effects of climate change, including devastating droughts, floods, desertification and extreme heat waves, a climate-resilient future is essential. He advocated for eco-partnerships to enhance access to cleaner energy technologies, share expertise, and invest in regional power pools to electrify underserved communities.
Climate change demands global resilience through stronger infrastructure, smarter energy systems, and integration of trade corridors. This is why Nigeria is supporting a reinforced Eco-Africa Trade Corridor. Let us harmonize tariffs, simplify custom procedures, and develop multimodal logistic platforms that can efficiently link Africa with the rest of the world.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of his administration to Nigerian Army and indeed the armed forces towards combating all forms of security threats across the country. This is the message of the president to the grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2025 held in Kaduna.
The men and women of the Nigerian Army and Armed Forces more broadly, I reaffirm the present administration's unwavering commitment to your welfare and operational capacity. We will continue to invest in modern equipment, in intelligence, and in the human capital that drives your effectiveness. This is not a favor, it is a duty owed to those who depend on us.
Rural communities are the bedrock upon which lasting national development is built, and as such, its population must be empowered to adapt and thrive in the face of the growing challenges of climate change, economic uncertainty, and communal conflicts. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, highlights this in her message marking this year's World Rural Development Day. She says the theme of the celebration, Rural Development, Resilience to Global Change, speaks to the heart of the challenges faced by nations of the world and calls on Nigerians to work together to ensure that no community is left behind in the ongoing efforts to build a stronger and more resilient Nigeria. The Nigeria Immigration Service has launched an amnesty initiative for foreigners with expired visas or immigration violations, offering them the chance to regularize their status without penalties. A statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Akinsola Akinlabi, indicates that the initiative, introduced in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior, took effect on 1st May 2025 and runs until 30th September 2025. The statement explains that the amnesty applies to 3 key categories: foreign nationals with expired visa on arrival (VOA), holders of expired single or multiple entry visas, and individuals with expired SEPAC whose renewal is overdue by more than 30 days. The service advised affected individuals to visit the website of Immigration Service to regularize their stay within the grace period and avoid overstay penalties. To ease the process, the Nigeria Immigration Service has deployed a dedicated support team to assist applicants while reaffirming its commitment to promoting lawful immigration, ensuring national security, and fostering a transparent and efficient immigration system. Now in sports, Nigeria's Super Falcons kicked off their 2025 Women Africa Cup of Nations campaign with a comfortable 3-0 victory over Tunisia in their first Group B fixture at the Labi Zaouli Stadium in Morocco. The Super Falcons, who are gunning for a record 10th title, had played out a barren draw against Portugal in a pre-WAFCON warm-up game. However, it was 6-time African Player of the Year, Azizat Oshola, who broke the deadlock in the 4th minute through a glancing header via a perfectly weighted free kick into the box by Rinsola Babajide. Babajide would then enter the score sheet following a surging run and a low brilliant finish to the bottom corner to double the Falcons' lead just right before halftime. Substitute Chinwendu Ihezuo was the cherry on top in what was a dominating display by the Falcons as she latched onto a pass headed down by Esther Okoronkwo to finish from close range and make it 3-0. And those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues shortly with Adamola and Jume after this commercial break. Please don't go away.
Have you heard the news? The federal government of Nigeria, through its direct benefit transfer program, has started the disbursement of 75,000 naira per household in 3 installments of 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 naira. Each recipient must have a validated national identification number, NIN, to receive the payment on behalf of their household members. To benefit, your household must be in the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Households in Nigeria. The federal government's direct benefit transfer program is helping to reduce the effect of suffering while promoting financial and economic inclusion for the poor and vulnerable population in Nigeria.
Ìjọba fún wa ní 75,000. NIN mi àti káàdì ìlàsílẹ̀ ọgbà. Nígbà tí mo sì gbà, mo ń fi ṣe nǹkan tó dáa, mo ra oògùn nínú rẹ̀. Mo ra oúnjẹ tí màá jẹ nínú rẹ̀. Mo sì wọkọ̀ mi náà ń bẹ. A sì fi yòókù ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ajé pé ká tó máa rí dé bá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba wa òkè.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, in collaboration with the National Social Investment Programs Agency, National Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, and the National Cash Transfer Office.
What would you need?
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress.
When you're low on energy and need a break, give yourself a treat. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Smooth. Crafted from cocoa, milk, and sugar. Creamy. Chocolatey. Frothy goodness. Rich taste. So satisfying. Cadbury 3-in-1 Hot Chocolate. The treat you deserve.
No buy am! But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull rice, tasty rice nourished you.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
The sport is very, very important to the special kid needs. Engaging in this kind of activities, moving the wheelchair with the strength, is a form of exercise to reduce that stiffness of the muscle. It makes them to be self-dependent, not depending we should believe that there is ability in their disabilities.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Hey Nigeria, ready to breathe cleaner air and save money? Let's talk about gas. Drive with CNG, the smart, cost-effective choice. Fill up for less and travel further. Save money, save the planet. Switch to LPG for cooking. It's cleaner, healthier, and better for environment. Say goodbye to smoke and eye problems. Do you know Nigeria is a gas nation ranked 9th globally with over 209 trillion cubic feet of gas reserve? Gas isn't just for cooking and driving. It powers industries too. Cleaner, cheaper, and more efficient. And the best part, conversion centers are popping up everywhere. It's never been easier to switch to gas. Join the cleaner energy revolution. Choose LPG for cooking and CNG for your vehicles. Clean energy for brighter future. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, supported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance rice bran oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance oil. Good food, no worries.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Up next on the program is Newspaper Review.
Our newspaper reviewer Chukwudi Okolu-Baja is here. Good morning, Chooks.
Good morning, Jumai. On a very cold morning.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
I love the weather.
You do?
So sweet.
You didn't have to visit the loo up to 2 times at night? Because when it's cold, that's when you have this call of nature. I don't know whether it affects you.
It's a new week.
It's a new week. And a bright one.
Yes, let's kick off with the Blueprint newspaper. And above the masthead of the Blueprint newspaper, Lagos, NDLEA uncovers cocaine in lipsticks, $17.7 million in kids' books. You find the details on page 16. And below the masthead, Northern leaders meet in Kaduna, push for region's unity. Okay. You find the details on page 16, page 10. WAFCON, that's in sports, Super Falcons crushed Tunisia in Group B opener. Find details on page 32. Side piece of the picture story, 2027, coalition out for their stomach not to salvage Nigeria. That's attributed to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Tinubu to troops, you have my full mandate to crush enemies of Nigeria. With riders, 9 Boko Haram wives arrested in Niger. IED cache uncovered in Marte di Kwa Bridge. You find the details on page 8. And just below the picture story, Senate puts Natasha's reinstatement on hold. yet to receive court judgment, lawmakers' apology. And sympathizers rescue drowning soldier in Edo. Find the details on page 11. 21 killed in Kano auto crash. Details on page 16. Equity markets post 377 billion naira gain, strengthens investors' sentiment. And Constitution Review, Muswen restates demand for Sharia in Southwest. And the picture story is see there, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Olorode left, and Vice President Kashim Shettima at the grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day celebration in Kaduna on Sunday. Mr. Demola, take yours tonight.
Okay, I have the Leadership newspaper. The Leadership newspaper, just below the nameplate, we have Leadership appoints new editors. Then we have court verdict. Natasha vows to resume Tuesday. Senate awaits CTC. Details of that story can be found on page 21. I'm running for president, not VP, Obi declares. And it says, Tinubu government lacks compassion. Your time has passed, Wike tells former Anambra governor. Details of that major headline story, it's on page 7. Tinubu orders military to wipe out Nigeria's enemies. Kuka fears greater insecurity. Details on page 22. Aviation fuel soars to 1,315 naira per litre, despite oil price dip. Details on page 27. Ebonyi government backs rotational presidencies, and the details on page 23. National NAS oversight of MDA's ineffective CSOs, others. Details on page 26. JAM releases 11,000 mop-up candidates result. Details of that story can be found on page 21. And we have 29 die in Kano, Lagos crashes. Rainstorm destroys 100 KB houses. Details, page 20. Well,
let's quickly go to the business Nigeria, and above the masthead, Nigeria targets return of foreign students, invests 75 billion naira in campus power. That's coming from the TED Fund bus. You find the details on page 2. Atiku vows anti-graft war as 2027 bid takes shape. Details on page 2. And below the masthead, pharmacists raise alarm. Half of drugs in Nigeria are fake. Details on page 11. And relief outrage as FX transactions resume on Naira cards in 2025. You find the details on page 1. And CBN pumps $4.7 billion to defend Naira amid capital fight. You find the details on page 2. Labour kicks, judiciary warns Senate on reform bill. You want to know what it's all about? You find it in the inside paper. And CBN deadline expires, struggling BDCs turn to mergers, acquisitions for survival. Mr. Chooks.
Yes, Juma, thank you very much. I know I'm not their learned friends, but when the Natasha suspension happened, I thought it was an overkill. I thought they were killing a fly with a sledgehammer. People argued. I just felt that if Natasha impugned Senate laws, she should be directly punished for it. Laws are laws, you know. But for her constituents to be robbed of representation for 6 months, I felt it was not a good one. And I actually put out a piece on that on social media. Unfortunately, many of our journalists, they were doing the gossip area of it. This one do this for backyard, this one do, you know. So it's a good thing a judge has pronounced now. The thing now is she's vowing to start on Tuesday. While the Senate is saying we've not received the CTC, the certified true copy, and the apology has not come from her. I think they should, in a gentlemanly manner, resolve that aspect of it.
I believe they will resolve
They
it.
will. They will. Then go take them tongue, count them teeth.
They will resolve
because that matter, I think it was not quite, you know. But laws are laws. I'm a stickler for you must obey our laws. That piece I put out, you know, talked about that extensively. So let them resolve it since the court has spoken. And it's a good thing. Nobody is talking about appealing anything. Good. You have my full mandate to crush Nigeria's enemies. That's the president to our security forces. It's about time too. Well, he's been saying all that. So what we would want to say is, Mr. President, what are the things we need to do to them to help them to, you know, swoop on these people more and more to do the crushing? Because it has become an ill wind that blows no one any good. Yes, let them go get them. This is sports. Sports usually comes lastly in our news lineup. But I'm happy the Super Falcons, you know, swooped on the Tunisians. And it's a good way to start. Yeah. Very, very good.
I hope they keep up the tempo.
Yes. They're politicking ahead of 2027.
Did you watch the match?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see it as well. A coalition out for their stomach, not Nigeria. Our brother is talking to them there, as usual. That's wicked to them. And then Obi is saying, I'm running for
president,
he's really playing for high stakes, isn't he? You know? That coalition, it's okay. We will pray for them to
that coalition
get their act together.
He get as it be.
Let's watch. We'll write the story. That's our job.
Yeah.
Let's stay neutral and write the story as robustly as we can. The leadership is getting new editors. I like it when you mention the newsroom's gate man, the people who say what goes out eventually. Although when I look at some papers these days, I begin to ask, do they really have editors there? An editor, a field marshal, is a field marshal. I liked it when the editor knew factuality, fairness, accuracy, objectivity, and balance. They are pillars. And good English. These days, the two of them hardly go together, you know, and it gives me a lot of pain. But leadership has actually paid its dues, and we want to vouch for them because they are one of the foremost.
One of the leaders.
They are. You have to give it to them.
Aviation fuel soars to 1,315 litre.
Hi.
Any reason for that? Because the oil price,
the
price of thank you. The price of petrol went up when is Iran going to fight Israel? Blah blah blah. You know, happened. There was a surge to $80 per barrel, but I think it's come down to about 68.
Yes.
So, aviation fuel, does it have a totally different route in terms of the kind of carbon it uses? You know, it's still a carbon product. I've not read that story, so let me not go too much into that aspect of it.
Okay,
yes.
Chooks.
Well, before you go into any other aspect, let's just thank you for...
thank me out as usual.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're a Job's comforter. You're a Job's comforter.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
You'll have a lovely day.
You guys too.
All right.
Thank you.
So we'll take a break now. The conversation will kick off immediately after the break. Stay with us.
Our major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
Mention a popular Nigerian childhood game of the 80s and 90s.
Police and thief. Playing rubber.
No, be I'm rubber.
Mommy and daddy.
Mommy and daddy. Survey says. Hey.
She loves to cook and I like to eat.
That's my boy. Why?
I like to go out, but sometimes my pocket just tells me, "Bro, go inside."
Don't be only you. Mention something you would do if you meet with a lion. Call for help. Help me. The lion, they carry me, go here.
I like to watch football with him.
Nice.
Not Arsenal. They know they carry league.
Drop some bars.
All right. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
You did not even rap.
If you're happy and you know it, let me see your 32. Smile for me, baby. You know they give me attitude.
Felicity, they're here.
What food do you need?
Guys, food is ready.
Cook to impress.
The Nigeria Coat of Arms is the official seal that represents the authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hung on the wall behind the seat of the principal officer of the government, supported by the portrait of the serving president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It has 7 features. The black shield stands for Good Earth of Nigeria. The silver wavy band stands for the confluence of rivers Niger and Benue. The 2 white horses stands for dignity. The yellow flora is a common wildflower throughout Nigeria. The red eagle stands for strength. The wreath is in our national colors of green, white, green. The motto, unity and faith, peace and progress, is written on a beautiful yellow ribbon, and it's a maxim for all Nigerians. Be a real Nigerian.
TerraQ, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
The federal government of Nigeria warns vandals of national assets, electricity transmission towers, cables and other facilities to desist from this act of sabotage. Vandalism is a serious crime punishable under the law. Vandalizing electrical equipment will affect millions of Nigerians, including your loved ones. Remember that national assets belong to all of us, hence the need to protect them. Report all cases of suspicious movement around electrical facilities to security agencies. When you see something, say something. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in collaboration with the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, Office of the National Security Advisor.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in gamma-oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma-oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Good food, no worries.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we
rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree. We swear in colors, with undying demand. We bet solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Each ethnicity is unique, we have more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
You're watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA, and our focus is on the 2025 BRICS Summit. Let's take a listen to Timothy Yusuf's report.
The 2025 BRICS Summit, which is the 17th, is a significant diplomatic milestone for Nigeria, marking its debut as a partner country in the influential economic bloc. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is already in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, participating in the summit to highlight Nigeria's ongoing economic reforms aimed at stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, attracting foreign investment, and unlocking growth in key sectors like agriculture, solid minerals, healthcare, and renewable energy. Analysts believe that the summit provides a platform for Nigeria to attract investors and promote its investment potential, deepening economic ties with fellow BRICS nations. With the summit's theme, Strengthening Global South Cooperation for More Inclusive and Sustainable Governance, it aligns with Nigeria's vision for global financial reform and multilateral cooperation. For the summit's potential benefits, many say Nigeria's participation in the BRICS Summit could lead to increased investment in key sectors, driving economic growth and development. By showcasing its economic reforms and investment potential, Nigeria can improve its global competitiveness and attract more foreign investment. Also, the summit provides an opportunity for Nigeria to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on oil exports. However, Nigeria faces significant economic challenges, including high inflation and sluggish growth, which need to be addressed to achieve sustainable development. The success of Nigeria's economic reforms will depend on effective implementation and the ability to attract foreign investment. Overall, the 17th BRICS Summit presents a significant opportunity for Nigeria to promote its economic interests, attract investment, and strengthen its global partnerships. This partnership has already begun as Nigeria and Brazil are making new commitment towards fast-tracking the processes of actualizing the gains of the bilateral relations between the two countries. President Bola Tinubu and his Brazilian counterpart, Luis Lula da Silva, expressed enthusiasm for a timely and fruitful relations between Nigeria and Brazil at their meeting in Rio de Janeiro ahead of the 2025 BRICS Summit of Heads of State and Government holding in Brazil. For more insights on the 17th BRICS Summit, vis-a-vis its prospects and progress ahead, let's now join our guests in the studio.
Thank you very much, Timothy Yusuf, for that background report. And now joining us here to begin our conversation on 2025 BRICS Summit, let me introduce in the studio Dr. Adoyi Matthew Omale. He's the International Affairs Analyst. Dr. Omale, it's good to have you on Good Morning Nigeria this morning.
Good morning, and thanks you for having me.
Also joining us from our Lagos studio is Professor F.M. Ubi, is the Director of Studies, Nigeria Institute of International Affairs, NIIA. Dr. Ubi, you're welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you. Thank you.
For joining us, and also joining us via Zoom from South Africa, Johannesburg, we have Ambassador Joe Keshi, former Permanent Secretary Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Glad to have you join us, Ambassador.
Good morning. Nice seeing you all this morning.
And joining us via Zoom also from Beijing, China, is John Chu, Fellow of Belt and Road Research Center, Minzu University of China. Glad to have you join us.
Good morning, Lagos.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us for this conversation this morning. Let's start from the studio here. Dr. Mali, let's look at the key objectives of this 17th BRICS Summit, which is going on, which is on the way in Brazil. How does it align, I mean, the objective align with the theme of this summit? The theme is strengthening global South cooperation.
Yes, the objective of this year's BRICS Summit, I think, is very, very clear. It's in line with BRICS' overall objective, fostering global partnership with countries of the South. For a very long time, the countries of the South, the global South now in this case, they've been collectively agitating for certain reforms within the international economic system. They have been agitating for new international economic order that will strive to bring about equality in the international affairs, especially in international trade and development. And to fast-track this, the idea of the BRICS was mooted, and the BRICS have come to stay as a key global player, as a counterweight to Western domination of the international economic order. And if you look at the objectives, is to harness the potential, is to ensure that the countries of the South are able to leverage on their partnership, strategic partnership, to give economic succor, to mitigate global challenges that they face. And the BRICS is doing a very, very good work in that regard. In terms of renewable energy, many countries of the BRICS have a lot to gain from each other. And like as I always say, in terms of technology transfer, there's no other group that will be willing to transfer technology like a cooperation among the countries of the South, which is very, very instructive. That Brazil is hosting this summit. Brazil has been a very leading light within the South. They have attained some level of industrialization in manufacturing, in mining, and so on. When you look at India, for example, India and a lot of African countries and countries of the South, they share very close affinity in the area of addressing poverty and so on. The objective of this year's summit definitely is to try to open up new vista of area of cooperation between the countries of the South. And you can see many countries of the South, including Nigeria, are becoming are being attracted into the BRICS initiative. Why? Because it creates a very, very important window for most of them to diversify their economy, to reach out, because it's a very open group that are willing, with a lot of money, with China being the second largest economy in the world, and being a member of that partnership.
And also Russia.
And Russia and India, and even South Africa. It shows that if we take advantage of those countries that are moving the BRICS, we could also attract a lot of foreign direct investments. And vice versa, we can also enter into favorable trade relationship with these countries to expand our economy, to diversify our economy, and so on. So it creates a lot of opportunity for us as a country, for Africa as a continent, and also for the countries of the South-South. We in the academics have been arguing about looking inwards. I think BRICS creates that opportunity for us to look inwards to see how we can cooperate among ourselves within the global south, because we share very similar problems, very similar challenges, and it will be good if we can leverage on that. I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his handlers knows very well that the opportunity that are abound within the BRICS, and that is why Mr. President has to make it as a point of contact to attend the BRICS summit, which to me is very good for Nigeria.
It is. It's very good for Nigeria and a step forward in diversifying our economy. Let's bring in Ambassador Joe Keshi into this conversation now. We're beginning to understand, you know, the BRICS as it is, and what is the central focus of this 17th BRICS summit in Brazil, and why is it important globally? Because some experts term it as a table shaker on the global scene.
Thank you very much. I like the way you said it, that some people see it as a global shaker within the international scene. Unfortunately, I don't think I share that view because the BRICS states, as they are called, they are meeting at a time of great upheaval and uncertainty within the international community. They are meeting at a time in which you have a different administration in the United States itself, which has destabilized, you know, the global order that was set a couple of years ago, post-Cold War and post-World War II. So the order, the global order itself is in an uncertain situation. And you can see that reflecting in the statement that the BRICS states, you know, in the 31-page document that they released yesterday, which I found very, very unfortunate, but it shows you the challenge that they now face. One was the fact that this organization began essentially as a protest group. The very first concern was about the dominance of the U.S. currency as the global trading currency, and the way the Western institutions, you know, have dealt with, particularly the South, in terms of loans and the rest of it, and they thought they needed to find an alternative, you know, to that. They also wanted to promote multilateralism, you know, so that to ensure that the world in which we live in is not just dominated by just one group of or set of people, the Western world in particular. But unfortunately, a number of things have changed over the years, and is beginning to pose some challenges to BRICS itself. For example, two of the key leaders did not attend the conference. The Chinese president was not there. The Russian president was not there, even though he addressed the conference via Zoom. Egypt, which was interested in becoming a member, has paused its membership one way or the other, whether it has withdrawn or paused its membership. And as I said, when you look at the statement